Fair warning, this is going to be a short one today, guys. This is about Knott's Berry Farm. I will explain more later on. One thing I will say is that they have very excellent craftsmen people who do these hard jobs. This was not a good experience for us, clearly, by the way I'm talking. A very beautifully kept park, though. I will say that. Beautifully kept park. I really did like that rooster. Horse. I forgot what the next picture was going to be, and I was like, horse. So yeah, we really didn't ride a lot of rides, and I'll explain that later. But this is the Ghost Town section of the park. There's Ghost Town, Boardwalk, Fiesta, Camp Snoopy. I'm forgetting one. But yeah, it was really not the best day. Food was great. Food was fantastic. We ate at the barbecue. That place. That right there. But yeah, the barbecue. But this was a really disappointing experience, and it's a shame. Because I was really looking forward to this. Gotta love Snoopy, though. Give it up for Snoopy and the Peanuts characters. And yeah, so after this, we went back to the hotel, napped, went to Anaheim City Garden Walk, P.F. Chang's for dinner. If you can't find something to eat there, then I don't know where you're going. And then we went to Baskin Robbins afterwards, and here's the explanation. Hi, everybody. Taylor from Take Time here, from the future at night, after I just showered in my little robe. Got some plushies up there. Rip, come from away, I miss you. You're probably wondering why this Knott's Plug vlog is more me talking. I'm also on my phone, by the way, so I'm sorry, I'm shaky. Why this is like it is. And I'm here to tell you why. Because I realized I had less than 2 minutes of footage too. And I did want to explain why. Again, this is my opinion of an experience I had. If I ever go back during Halloween time, I wouldn't mind trying Scary Farm or holiday time. We went before Labor Day. That's important. As you know, Knott's is owned by the Cedar Company that runs Cedar Point, Dorney Park, all these other parks that I've been to. So they all have Camp Snoopies. Love Snoopy. Love that adults go bonkers for Snoopy, and I'm not the only one. Literally walking through Camp Snoopy and seeing like a fur character version of Snoopy. We were all like, Snoopy! People walked into the store, Snoopy! I also will say the food was really good. Well maintained. They did the right thing during the pandemic. You could tell what areas were worked on, what needs to be worked on, what was being worked on. For the most part, the staff was very friendly. Most part. But I would say our day was abysmal. It was abysmal. There was an incident involving me and me alone while I was in line for the first ride of the day. Because that started my day off really bad. And it's a shame because the ride that I was online for was a great coaster. Ghost Rider, great wooden coaster, no problem. The ops there, actually, minus one thing, were pretty good. Let's get into the rest of the actual park. As a lot of you know, if you go to Florida theme parks, rides don't open or they close for various reasons. It's the same thing in California. It's just more for the heat than anything. It's not because lightning is striking, although that does sometimes happen. It's not because this is happening. It's more because of heat. There were like barely any rides open at opening. And it was like, push me, I'm coming to open the rest of them. So besides that, you had ops that until my
set of cars came through for Ghost Rider, they weren't sticking single riders together. And as far as I knew, there was no COVID restrictions. So it was like, I'm very confused as to why a line that stated 10 minutes is now taking 20. And then the issue happened. And then it was like, okay. And then nobody had like answers. Or if they had an answer, it was like, because my parents were interested in trying jams. And possibly sending some home, and nobody had an answer. So guess what didn't get consumed and bought on plane home or shipped home? My mom uses an ECV, and there was no everybody, when I say that there was, I had to find somebody, and then there was nobody there for her to take the elevator up on. And it's not that she can't walk, but it was more of a convenience thing. Nobody knew anything about ECVs. Nobody knew XYZ. Ops took forever. Something happened with the mine train, so we had to wait a little bit longer. And then it was like, but then another ride, it would be insanely, almost, if not over perfection of an ops. The log flume employees, fantastic. That's actually a really good log flume. A little weird at points, but in terms of like an actual ride and a log flume, it was pretty good. And they know how to operate it. Their ops are very good. Their food service ops are very good. But like, we'd go walking around and there'd be like nothing opened. Or it would just be opening. Or nobody would have an answer. Nobody would do this. Nobody would do that. I'm texting one of my best friends who lives in Ohio, who is near Cedar Point. Loves Cedar Point. No complaints this entire summer. I was like, what's going on? And people were like, oh, it's the off season. The off season would be after Labor Day. This is before Labor Day. Minus the Fiesta section, which was the one section under refurbishment, because how they did post-COVID was really smart. They would like go section by section. And it was a nightmare trying to find an answer. And then you go to Camp Snoopy, which has 90% of the kids' rides, and really cute. And of course, a bunch of us adults going, oh my God, Snoopy. And there's like a third of the rides down. What are parents supposed to do with their kids? What? And I understand it's a heat wave and we're all trying to do stuff, but the lack of answers, and I hate saying that, and I don't want to discourage people from going, but I feel like you all needed to hear this. And again, there were great things. Great things. Loved the log flume. Loved Ghost Rider. Camp Snoopy is adorable. The food, again, was fantastic. It was clean. But ops were just horrible. And I understand stuff went down earlier in the summer that they had to fix it. That's totally fine. You do what you got to do. You do what you got to do, poo-poo. But I just wanted to come on here and explain. And now this is actually going to be like an over 10-minute vlog, but it's like 9 minutes of me ranting. 10 minutes of me ranting. But I wanted to let you all know that this is why. And I'm just being honest at this point. Please stay safe. Please join us for the next part. Bye, everybody.